I call the Honourable Member Rajan Prasad.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Namaste.
Namaste,
And Pula
Mr.
Vanaka.
Chairman. I was enjoying the line of reasoning my colleague who's just sat down was pursuing. And I want to speak to Clause 3 and about the Principal Act. And I want to hear from the Minister. I want to hear the Minister's response to what I'm going to raise and what my colleague has just raised as well. And this is, here we have a bill really sitting down in stone a principle. And I'll have a lot more to say about this principle when we're debating Part 4. And this is the prime responsibility of the family for caring for each other. And so that's the principle. It's that most of this bill, this amendment bill and its provisions are based on. And I want to know from the Minister, or from anybody else opposite, what other considerations were given to amend other acts where this principle is either not stated or is implied, and there are many. And it would be useful to hear that, because that is the anchoring principle in this Act. And I have worked with acts that make this assumption, but I have not seen this principle written down in this form. Now, of course, if it was it had gone through a proper select committee process, Mr. Chairman, we would have asked the officials to tell us what were the other acts, how was this principle operating, and whether there were any need, whether there was any need to amend those acts as well. So it's an important and serious question that I'm asking. And so, have those acts been examined? Has the principle been debated by officials, by the Minister and others, and what are its implications further down the track? Now, for example, Mr. Chairman, let's take the Children, Young Persons and the Families Act, because here is an act that this principle really it's seeping with this particular principle as to who has responsibility, and much of the provision is of that particular act is what to do when that principle is not delivered to, if you like, by family members. So the Minister can probably tell me what will be the implications of this principle for those particular acts, and indeed for the whole Whānau program. Is there anything in that program that also needs to be amended, if you like, whether there is a principal act that actually states that particular principle as strongly as this bill takes it forward? And as I said, Mr. Chairman, I raise those questions quite seriously because I have not seen this principle written in this particular form. And there will be others. Care of Children Act is another one where those principles are embedded, assumed, etc. And whether or not the Minister would want to come back to have a look at those acts and the Family Support Act as well. So maybe the Minister can take a call. It's very difficult to debate this bill in this environment, Mr. Chairman, when the whole government side, including the Minister, sit there like stunned mullets, not responding at all. This is, if you like, the Select Committee process. And yet, I think what government members are doing, it's taking this side of the House as to be idiots, and you're probably entitled to do that. But Mr. Bridges, you look like an idiot too when you sit there and not actually answer the questions. Maybe the very senior member. And if the member wants to take on and invite him to, please debate these particular questions because they are important questions. Maybe that member has not heard of these principles. Maybe when he was arguing in the courts, maybe he did not use this. But here we are. The principle is important. So what I'm saying, Mr. Chairman, that I would like to hear the members opposite, including the Minister, tell us where else this principle applies and whether or not consideration had been given to amending those acts as well. And at least that's what the Select Committee process would have done, Mr. Chairman. And it would have done it very well. And it's a travesty that process had been prevailed upon. Well, if that's what the government is going to do, then it's their responsibility to answer those questions now and not sit there like stunned mullets and make inane interjections. But the only time in the committee stage of this bill we've had any sense that they're even awake, Mr. Chairman. It's only when inane comments are being made, as was made just then. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.